All right, so I want to talk about the secret to mastering, well, pretty much any skill. And believe it or not, the key comes from a super unexpected place, a Japanese metal guitarist giving a lesson. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's get into it.
First, though, let me ask you something. You ever been in that spot where you're practicing something just over and over and over again, and you're not just not getting better, you actually feel like you're getting worse? It is so frustrating. And as it turns out, there's a really clear reason that happens.
And that brings us right to our first idea here, what the teacher in this lesson calls the practice trap. So picture this. There's this student, right? He's desperately trying to nail this super fast Metallica riff. He's grinding, putting in the hours, playing it again and again, but he's just stuck. He's hit a total wall. That's the frustration loop in action. The more effort you put in, the less progress you seem to make. Your fingers get all tangled up, you keep making the exact same mistakes, and suddenly the goal feels like it's a million miles away.
And this is where the teacher's diagnosis is just brilliant. He says, look, the problem isn't that you're not trying hard enough. No, the problem is that every single time you play that riff with a mistake, you're actually training your brain and your muscles to do it the wrong way. You're not practicing the song, you're practicing the mistakes. Okay, so if that's the problem, how in the world do you break out of that loop? Well, the teacher's solution starts with this huge mindset shift. He says, for certain skills, you've got to stop thinking like an artist and start thinking like a mathematician. And this is a really key distinction to make. Think about an expressive art form, maybe like jazz or the blues. It's all about improvisation, it's about feel. You can play it a little different every time, and that's cool. But for something like metal or, say, classical music, nope. It is all about note for note perfection. The math, as he calls it, has to be perfect. You see, the teacher's whole point is that for these super precise skills, there's only one right answer. 1 + 1 = 2. That's it. Hitting a wrong note isn't just a cool variation. It's the wrong answer. It means you're playing a completely different song.
All right, so if the goal is that kind of mathematical precision, what's the actual practical technique to get there? This brings us to the real solution the teacher lays out. He calls it the 3-in-a-row rule. Now, the whole idea behind this rule is a concept the teacher calls experience points. Think of it like this. Your body, your muscle memory, it doesn't know right from wrong. It's not judging you. It's just like a machine that's automatically pulled toward whichever action it's done the most times. So your job is to become the programmer, to intentionally feed it more experience points for the correct action than the wrong one. So here's how it works. It's a simple but really powerful 3-step process. First, you have to slow way down. I mean, slow down to a speed where you know you can play it perfectly, where it's basically impossible to make a mistake. Second, and this is maybe the most important part, the instant you mess up, you stop cold. Don't finish the phrase, don't power through it. You stop. This literally starves the mistake of any experience points. And then finally, you only pass and get to move on when you can play it perfectly 3 times in a row. That's what saves your progress and makes sure the right way is burned into your brain, way stronger than the wrong way.
You know, this kind of strategic practice, it does more than just make you better at something. It actually unlocks this surprising advantage that, honestly, most of us adults think we've lost for good.
I mean, we all kind of believe this, right? That kids are the best learners. Their brains are like little sponges, they're plastic, they can just soak up new skills effortlessly. And for us adults, well, it's this huge uphill battle. But is that really the whole story? This is where the teacher makes this amazing, counterintuitive point. He says, sure, kids have that raw advantage of brain plasticity, but adults, we have a secret weapon. And sometimes it's even more powerful. And that weapon is the ability to use strategy. And that, right there, is why an adult can often learn more efficiently than a kid. We can step back, we can analyze the problem, we can come up with a smart plan, like the 3-in-a-row rule, and then have the discipline to actually stick to it. You know, a kid might just keep bashing their head against the wall over and over. But in adults, An adult can figure out how to build a ladder to get over that wall.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. Let's talk about how you can take this idea and use it today, whether you've ever picked up a guitar in your life or not.
So I want you to think for a second about your own life. What's the thing you're trying to master right now? What's that one little tricky part that just keeps tripping you up, no matter what? That one specific hurdle you just can't seem to clear. What is your Metallica riff? And it could be absolutely anything, right? Maybe it's nailing that one awkward transition in a big presentation you have to give. Or maybe it's that one complex function in a programming language that makes your brain hurt. It could be as simple as perfecting the timing on a new recipe, or as hard as mastering a tricky accent in a foreign language. Or maybe, just maybe, it's finally fixing that slice in your golf swing. All of these things, they're precision skills, and they can all be fixed with these exact same method. And that really leaves us with one last big question to ask ourselves. The next time you sit down to practice anything, just stop and ask, am I actually practicing success right now? Am I consciously building up those experience points for doing it right? Or am I just getting really, really good at making the exact same mistake over and over again? Answering that question honestly, well, it could completely change how you learn, forever.